Okay, guys, in this Explore and Investigate section of AP Computer Science Principles, we are going to start playing around with something called loops. In order to explain how loops work, we are going to use this really cool application that allows us to program robots or virtual robots on a playing field. So this is really interesting. I'm gonna show you what the graphical user interface is, and then we're gonna get into doing some things with the robot. So first of all, you go to vr.vex.com. You're gonna find a very similar workspace, kind of like the one from Thunkable, because on the left you're gonna have all the blocks that you need in order to program your robot with simple functions. Okay, these functions are pre-made just like the ones you did on Thunkable. So we have on the left palette, we have the drivetrain functions, we have a magnet, which is an actuator on the robot, we have the looks, and here we can establish kind of like the console where you print, or where you set the set print, clear all rows. This is kind of like what we use on the console, or a label on Thunkable. We have the control statements, and here's where we're going to focus. We've done if statements already. We have a wait until, that this is a function that is sometimes used in robotics. We have repeat until, which this is going to be our for loop, and we have the while statement, which is going to be our while loop. Okay, we have some sensors over here. We have the operators, where we have plus, minus, multiplication, division, just like any other block diagram that we've used before. We also have pick random, we have the greater than, less than, equal to, and we can add the logical operators such as and, or, and not that we've seen before. We can also round the number, we can find the absolute value of a number and the remainder, which is very helpful. Okay. Then we have another one where we can create our own variables. Just like we did in Thunkable, we can declare and initialize variables to any number. Okay. And of course, we have my blocks where we create our own versions or our functions of the programs that we want to do. So on the top right, we have the playground. We have the start, where we start the simulation. We have a step-by-step, which helps us for debugging. We have the share, and we have the feedback. Okay. Of course, we can also see the code in Python when we have done and completed our code. So we click on the playground, and what we're going to do in our segment is just use the grid map world. Okay. This grid map is just a squared world with the robot on the bottom left corner. Now, if you want to change the view, you can click on a 3D view and you can see how the robot is going to work. Okay. You can also have the play button on the bottom left and the reset in case that you need it. Okay. We also have a couple of information and indicators of where the robot is, like the heading, we have the rotation in degrees, and we have a couple of sensors that we use on the robot. Okay, so watch the next video in order to see how while loops and for loops work.